Most people think they understand XRP, but very few actually do. Some say it's a bank coin, others call it centralized. Some believe it will replace Bitcoin, and others say it's useless. So what is XRP really? What problem was it actually built to solve? And why is it still one of the most misunderstood projects in crypto? Let's dive in. To understand XRP, you have to start with the problem it was designed to solve. Before crypto, moving money across borders was slow, expensive, and fragmented. International transfers could take days and pass through several intermediaries. XRP was created to move value directly in seconds with minimal friction. It wasn't built to speculate. It was built to move money. This is where XRP fundamentally differs from Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin was designed as digital money outside the system. Ethereum was designed as a programmable platform. XRP wasn't trying to replace either of them. Its goal was narrower. Make value move faster between existing systems. Different mission, different design. One of the biggest beginner mistakes is confusing XRP with Ripple. They are related, but they are not the same thing. Ripple is a private company that builds payment software. XRP is a digital asset that exists independently on a public ledger. You can use XRP without Ripple, and Ripple can build without controlling XRP. The XRP Ledger is open source and operates independently of Ripple Labs. Anyone can run a validator. Anyone can submit transactions. Ripple does not own the ledger. It cannot freeze wallets or reverse payments. Its influence comes from usage and development, not control. That distinction matters. XRP was never designed to be everything for everyone. There is no mining, no native staking rewards. It doesn't try to replace Ethereum's smart contracts or power meme culture. Its design prioritizes speed, cost, and reliability over flexibility. Those limitations are intentional, not flaws. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, the XRP Ledger does not rely on mining. Instead, it uses a consensus process between independent validators. Transactions are proposed, verified, and finalized within seconds. There is no race for block rewards and no energy-intensive competition. This allows fast settlement with predictable fees. This design explains why institutions pay attention to the XRP Ledger. They prioritize speed, cost, and certainty over ideology. When moving large amounts of value, finality matters. Knowing a transaction is settled in seconds changes how liquidity is managed. That practical focus defines XRP's role. On the XRP Ledger, transactions usually settle in just a few seconds. Fees remain extremely low and predictable, even during heavy usage. There's no waiting for multiple confirmations and no congestion bidding. Once a transaction is validated, it is final. This combination of speed, cost, and certainty is rare in crypto and intentional. Ripple builds software focused on payments, liquidity, and settlement. Its clients are banks, payment providers, and financial institutions. Some Ripple products can use XRP as a bridge asset. Others do not involve XRP at all. This is where many assumptions about bank adoption start to break down. Banks do not buy XRP to hold it as an investment. This is a critical point beginners often misunderstand. When XRP is used, it acts as a temporary bridge between currencies. It can be acquired, transferred, and sold within seconds. Usage does not automatically mean long-term exposure or speculation. Institutions care about reliability, compliance, and reducing costs. They do not chase narratives, communities, or price predictions. Their interest in XRP is purely functional. If a better solution appears, they will switch. That's why XRP should be seen as infrastructure, not a loyalty asset. When people say banks are adopting XRP, they often oversimplify reality. Most integrations are limited, experimental, or use XRP indirectly. Adoption is not a switch you turn on. It happens gradually, under regulation and constraints. Missing this nuance leads to unrealistic expectations and disappointment. In December 2020, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple. The core question was whether XRP should be classified as a security. This created years of uncertainty for exchanges, institutions, and users, not because the technology changed, but because the rules were unclear. Regulation, not code, became the main risk. Over time, court decisions brought partial clarity. In 2023, a key ruling separated how XRP was sold from what XRP actually is. This distinction mattered for exchanges and developers. It reduced uncertainty, even if debates continued. The lawsuit didn't end discussion, but it changed the landscape. The lawsuit did not change how the XRP ledger works. It did not suddenly make XRP succeed or fail. What it changed was access and perception. Delistings reversed. Builders returned. But XRP's long-term relevance still depends on real-world usage, not courtrooms. For beginners, the key lesson isn't who won. It's understanding that regulation can freeze an asset without breaking its technology. XRP survived years of uncertainty, but survival doesn't equal dominance. The lawsuit closed one chapter. It didn't write XRP's future for it. XRP is one of the most polarizing assets in crypto. Some see it as a bridge to real-world finance. Others see it as too close to institutions. These opinions rarely come from technical analysis. They come from ideology. And that's why XRP debates often feel emotional, not rational. One of the biggest criticisms is centralization. People often say, Ripple owns XRP. In reality, Ripple does not control the XRP ledger. Validators are independent. Anyone can run one. But perception spreads faster than architecture, especially online. XRP doesn't follow typical crypto culture. No mining, no memes, no promises of revolution. It focuses on efficiency, not ideology. That makes it boring to some and threatening to others. In crypto, not fitting the narrative can be a liability. Buying XRP does not mean owning part of Ripple. There are no dividends, no voting rights, no equity. XRP is a utility token, not a stock. Confusing the two leads to false expectations. Understanding this single point avoids many beginner mistakes. Many new XRP holders focus only on price targets, $5, $10, $100, and even more. But utility does not guarantee price outcomes, and price does not measure usefulness. XRP can function exactly as designed, without fulfilling online predictions. XRP will likely never be a meme coin. It won't dominate NFTs or gaming narratives. That's not a failure. It's a design choice. Trying to force XRP into roles it wasn't built for only creates confusion. Understanding limits is as important as understanding strengths. So, what should you actually remember from this video? XRP was built to solve a specific problem: fast, low-cost value transfer. It doesn't promise freedom. It doesn't promise riches. Like any tool, its value depends on how and whether it's actually used. Nothing more. XRP sits at the center of a lot of hype, shortcuts, and emotional narratives. But hype isn't what defines a project over time. Understanding does. What really matters isn't believing louder stories. It's knowing what XRP was built for, what it can realistically do, and what it cannot. If you want to explore the world of crypto, don't chase miracles. Educate yourself, because in this world, a simple click can change a life, but only knowledge can protect your future.